yesterday afternoon as well. 803-450-0086. Text line, phone line. And John in Archdale's hitting the road to travel. He hit us up on the text line to say he was getting out. Appreciate him being a part of the show. I also saw this interesting news out of the NBA. Giannis Antetokounmpo, I guess that's how you say his name. It's kind of tough to say, to be honest with you. Is now investing and is officially part of the Brewers ownership group. So the reigning NBA championship game MVP, reigning NBA champions, has their own player now investing into the Milwaukee Brewers baseball team. I did see that earlier today, which is pretty cool little note there. 803-450-0086. 803-450-0086. All right, I told you in hour number one we'd get back to some of Dabo Swanny, and we will do that coming up here in just a little bit. So make sure that you hang out with us and spend time talking about it. But the biggest topic, perhaps in college football, appears to be the forthcoming partnership that is expected to be announced over the next 7 to 10 days between the ACC, the Big Ten, and the Pac-12. Now, would teams realign? You know, Clemson Tom was kind of talking about that aspect. Like, how are they? Is it going to be that significant of a partnership? I don't think so. I truly just believe this is about strengthening those three groups to come together. I think also it's about figuring out how to, even if they don't work together on like a mega TV deal, right? Like they don't go to ABC and ESPN and say, all right, here's what we've got for you, or CBS or whoever. What they could get into, maybe a rights sharing agreement, is let's say that you've got Southern Cal and the Pac-12 is playing their games on Bally Sports, and their contract is with Bally Sports. But because of the agreement with the Big Ten, maybe it's Southern Cal and Ohio State in a season opener on Fox. And instead of maybe Southern Cal getting the bulk of that money, because that game now maybe is valued instead of at, and look, man, I have no clue what these games are worth, but say instead of at $5 million with Ohio State hooking up, it's worth 10. Well, now you've doubled the value. And so maybe instead of Southern Cal getting $4 million and whoever they were going to play getting $1 million, now Southern Cal gets $7 million and say Ohio State gets $3 million. So you've created more value for those network deals and perhaps more value and money coming into those individual programs. And who knows, maybe the partnership will be, look, we're going to split our television deals 50-50 on matchups between teams from our conferences. I mean, I don't know. Look, I mean, that's a lot of behind closed door stuff that I honestly don't have really a ton of knowledge of, because I'm not an athletic director, nor have I ever had to be fiscally responsible when it comes down to an athletic department budget, nor do I know the inner workings of how the money is technically maneuvered around in college football. But my hunch would be that this is also another way for the ACC, the Pac-12, and the Big Ten to create the narrative of what they want college football to look like and mitigate the SEC's power. And I brought that up earlier, just simply because when you're sitting in that room, and again, I think the thought process of the Big 12 in terms of the weight that they can throw around in a room is completely diminished at this point. Given the fact that they are really an 8-team league, I think just trying to keep their head above water. But now the ACC, the Big 10, and the Pac 12 can say, all right, here's what we think should happen with big boy college football. And even though you might not have all of the big boy college football teams, maybe it's the old 80-20 rule. Let's say the SEC's got 20% of the, or say they just say you want to just for lack of a better, say they've got 80% of the great teams. You know, they got 8 out of the top 10, if that's what you want to believe, or whatever that number is, you know, somewhere in that range. But yet when it comes down to the total conglomerate, they've only got 20%. And that larger 80% conglomerate can control the votes and can control how the game that you and I love and watch and value, how that game shifts over the next 10, 15, 20 years, however long that's going to be. Like, I think that's the part of this deal that's probably most significant is the merger of ideas between these three leagues and how it can thwart maybe anything that the SEC wants to do if those other three remaining leagues don't like it or don't want it to go the way that the SEC does. It gives a lot of power, in my opinion, to these other three leagues that they don't have individually.